So when it comes to choosing a white label service provider for your pay-per-click campaigns, there are some things that you need to think about in terms of how to pick the right one for your business. So let's have a look at some of the things that you should think about up front before you make a choice. Number one, and I think probably the most important, have they got experience in getting the kind of results that your clients are looking for in the markets where you sell to clients? Are they used to dealing with the kind of customers that you've got? If their experience is dealing with e-commerce clients with $50,000 a month budgets and you sell to plumbers with $2,000 a month budgets, that's a bad fit. Doesn't matter how good they are, it's a bad fit because that experience is irrelevant. Look for an agency, a white label service provider who has experience with the kind of markets and the type and size of clients that you sell to, because that's the most important thing. That tells you whether they're likely to be able to get a good result for you or not. Look at their credentials. With Google, it's relatively easy. With Facebook, it's more difficult. Facebook has no credentials as such. But with Google, there are two types of Google Partner Badge that you should look for in agencies. A Google Partner Badge that has a blue band on the left-hand side of Google Partner is a regular, lower-level Google Partner. A Google Premier Partner has a red stripe on their Partner Badge and will indicate a higher level, usually bigger, Google Partner. When you're looking for a white label service provider, look for one that has the experience and the scale, and that will almost always be a Premier Partner. And if they have neither of those badges, run a mile, don't touch them. But at least look for a red 99% of the time. Think about communication. Can the white label provider you're working with meet your communication style and expectations with your client? If you communicate with your client daily, make sure your agency can communicate with you daily. If it's weekly, go weekly. Make sure that their level of response, so turnaround time for emails, for example, implementation time for when you make a change request where you want to increase a budget or change a targeting or change some ad copy. What's the turnaround time? Is it a day, a week, a month, an hour? Make sure your provider can meet your expectations and targets. But also make sure your targets are realistic. Nobody can be on the hook for dropping everything immediately and doing something right the second it comes through the door. So be realistic, but make sure there is a good match and a good fit. Also think about working hours. What hours, what time zone are you in? When do you work? It makes sense to have a white label service provider who works the same hours you do, or at least most of the same hours, so you can have a good conversation, and preferably a conversation where you're both speaking in the same first language. You know, if you're dealing with somebody whose first language isn't yours, that makes your job a lot more difficult as an agency owner, because things can really easily get lost in translation. Even if it's a fluent third party, if it's not a native language, it will make things more difficult. You will see the impact that has. Think about the pricing model. Does the white label service provider's pricing model match yours? Does it allow you to make money? Can you be profitable and give your client the level of service you want to give them and make money off their price list? Also think about what tools you need them to provide. Some white label providers should have a reporting platform, a call tracking platform, a pay-per-click management platform. All of those things should be in place. Maybe some pre-sales support, some pre-sales resources. Do they have the tools that you need? Or are you still going to incur costs by providing additional tools so you can deliver reporting or other things to your clients? Think about how comprehensive that suite is and what you get. You may not need everything, but make sure you at least get the things you need from your client. Think about other things that you need as well. Do you need pre-sale support? If you do they provide it? Is it in the right format? Do you want someone to be on phone calls? Do you want someone to be speaking to your client for you and with you? If so, make sure your white label provider has that service in their armoury. If that's not something they do, then clearly your expectations are not going to be met. It's going to be a difficult relationship. And finally, Do you like the people that you speak to when you speak to them? Does it feel like a good experience? Do you feel like they care? Do they appear to be responsive and attentive and actually value you as a customer? If they don't, think about if that's the person you want to work with for the long term. If they don't value you as you're new to them, are they really likely to value in 6 months' time? Make sure it feels like a great relationship from day one.